Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Black Butler, chapter 171. When we last left our heroes, we rewound the clock back to, before anything in Heathfield Manor happened, because there's nothing Yana loves more than drawing things out. We had an extended sequence showing, the Phantom Hive gang's escape from London that gave us absolutely zero new information as they snuck out through the River Thames and ended up at Reading train station for everyone to go on their separate ways, at which point we focused deliberately on, or specifically on, Baldroy and Lau, who are our new focus characters for the next mini-arc. And so yeah, they arrived at this sanatorium, which is much nicer than Baldroy was expecting, and then they were met by, they were meeting this chief nurse, I think, and then a bunch of guys in, like, gas masks came in. And that's kind of where we left off last time. So let's jump right on into Chapter 171, The Butler Scattering into Smoke. And our picture here is of Baldroy looking at this statue, with the subtitle, "There are wounds even a goddess cannot heal." And so we open in with the guys in gas masks who have suddenly walked into the room, and Baldroy reacts, they're armed soldiers! I'm curious, though, if, so the soldiers say, "Don't move." And I'm curious, the question on my mind is, was that soldier gear? Because I thought the gas mask was only invented as a result of mustard gas usage in the First World War, though also Black Butler has already kind of pushed back the invention of mustard gas earlier in the timeline, I think, with its usage in the Emerald Witch arc. Though maybe the gas was invented earlier in actual history and not exactly an expert on the subject. But anyway, either they are armed soldiers or Baldroy thinks they're armed soldiers is the important part. Don't move. And we see Baldroy, like, cracking his knuckles, getting ready for a fight. Have they already figured out who we are? First unit, forward! Oh yeah, he thinks they're armed because they have, like, flamethrowers, it looks like. No other choice but to take them all out. And he's getting ready to throw something. Hygiene! And they blast him with water. Yeah, that makes much more sense. Shocking both Baldroy and Lau, as they're now drenched. What the hell is this? This is a pungent odor. Is this bleach? Oh, it's not water at all. It's bleach. Next, second unit forward. Disinfect. And the second unit strips Baldroy and Lau of their clothes. Yeah! Sterilize! And then they dump more hot water, I think, on their heads. Ow! No! Sanitize! And then they're just, like, completely clean. I think those are meant to be, like, hospital gowns? But I'm not sure. And Baldroy calls out the commander. Hey you! What was that for? What was that for? And he takes off his mask. That's my line. Hotbeds of pathogens are not allowed to enter the sanatorium. And we see the commander is a short-haired woman, with, like, scars running down her face. And Baldroy in shock. You're a woman? And another member of the squad comes up to her. Chief Nurse, here's a mask. And Lau asks, Chief Nurse? Then, are you the miracle healer? I just want to say, though, I feel like there are many panels in these first few pages that could definitely be used as, like, reaction images for, like, our current pandemic reality. Specifically the hygiene image. I want to find a context to use the hygiene image in, like, my daily life. It's just a really funny picture. Anyway, the nurse asks, "Miracle?" And then she slams her hand on the table. The reason why many patients of Athena Sanatorium for former servicemen begin to convalesce is due to medically correct treatment based on thorough hygiene management and statistics. It's not a miracle by any means. So yeah, we're seeing her, that she kind of rejects this miracle, moniker. Moniker? I think that's the right word. Um, which is, to me, is a sign that maybe the sanatorium is not related to Undertaker. Um, given that, like, her firm, um, adherence to science as opposed to, like, the faith that grounds this whole world of devils and death gods. Um, anyway, it's not a miracle by any means. And Baldroy and Lau are kind of taken aback by that, and the soldier guys, I don't know what the proper term for them is now, actually, say, Chief Nurse is right. We never allow bacteria to enter the sanatorium, nor do we allow them to spread. We kill bacteria while keeping our patients alive. And the head nurse has like dramatic pose. That's the core of Athena Sanatorium for former servicemen. I do wish that they had a shorter name for that, because I don't want to have to say Athena Sanatorium for former servicemen every time they talk about the sanatorium. But just then there's a knock on the door, and someone comes in. Hello, Ada. Have you finished your elaborate disinfection event? Hiya, I'm Dr. Knox. I'll be in charge of Mr. Berg. Okay. That's the end of the chapter. With Knox being back. And when is the last time we saw him? I feel like it might be, the Book of Atlantic? I'm browsing the wiki real fast. Yeah, he's not showed up since Book of the Atlantic. So I take that back, what I just said. But also, that's the end of the chapter, which is, it's Butler. It's Butler being Butler. I don't remember if I already said that was the end of the chapter. But yeah. So, I don't know. My thoughts on this chapter, given if I hate myself enough to accept Butler's pacing as a given, this was a good chapter. If I don't, it was, slow and barely anything happened, and it would have been like 3 minutes of screen time in an anime. Let me see how many pages there were. I think it was like 10. It's 9. 9, not counting the cover page. There are 9 pages in this fucking chapter, which might be the shortest in the series. Literally nothing happened. Well, actually, no, scratch that. Not nothing happened. That's the complete wrong thing to say. There were no pages. There should have been more pages. And yet, I feel like we had more happen here than we had in some chapters of the Heathfield shit. I mean, it's still not a lot of things happen, but, like, we're introduced to Ada. We have this whole, really, honestly, pretty funny gag segment of the forced cleaning. And then we get a refutation of her as the miracle healer, and then we get Knox. And I have no idea why the hell a Shinigami is here. Like, especially as if they're healing people, why would he be here? Like, that just kind of doesn't seem right if he's the one healing people, and he's, like, if people at the sanatorium are being healed, why? Sorry, I'm a little bit fuzzy tonight. I'm sorry. But if people here are being healed, what is he doing? I don't know. Also, does Baldroy know about Knox? I don't think Loud does. I don't think they've ever had an opportunity to meet. But has Baldroy met Knox? Does Baldroy know what this means, or are both of them completely unaware? I'm assuming Knox should at least know Baldroy, given that he's had some encounters with the Phantom Hives before. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of... I mean, I feel like more things happened in this chapter than happened in any chapter of the Heathfield shit, so for that, the chapter gets a bump up. But it's also 10 pages, if you count the cover page, which is just not something to write home about. Still, There's a fair bit to dig into for 10 pages. Not a whole lot, but still a good bit. Um, but also, I mean, there's Ada. Um, so the big thing is though, how did they learn all this? Um, like I'm not entirely sure on how early germ theory kicked off. But like this whole complete dedication to sanitation, I don't think was prevalent this early in British history. Um, so did it come from Knox? I don't know. I don't know. And if Knox is working in a place that's an Undertaker, a suspected Undertaker location, is Knox working with Undertaker? Or are we just completely off base here? If we are completely off base here, why are we dealing with this, Yana? I don't know. I don't know. I hope there's a good reason for all this. I'm much more positive on this chapter than I've been on many chapters in the past. And yeah, I'm hesitantly excited to see where the sanatorium arc goes. But so that's all I have to say for this video. Hope y'all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!